All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. The NFL season has concluded, well, regular season, and the playoffs are finally here. Got here really fast. So, right here at the beginning of the episode, let's go ahead and lock in our favorites to win the Super Bowl. I think you know where I'm going. I'm going to say the Ravens.
Still, even with Zay Flowers out.
Yep, I got to roll with them. Can't change up now.
Uh, I'm still gonna have to stick with the Lions. I mean, they look unstoppable.
Yeah, they do. I'll be completely honest. They do.
Yeah, I mean, they just they look like the best team, and they have been beat, but I mean, their offense is electric, and I don't really know if anybody's gonna be able to stop them. Not having home field, and they get to play at home too. They got home field advantage.
Yeah, yeah, they do. It's going to be tough to beat them. So, we'll see.
But yeah, we got the playoffs. The biggest news for Baltimore is Zay Flowers being out. Who are they going to throw the ball to?
Yeah, that's a big blow for them. They're gonna have a lot of guys that's gonna have to step up. Like you said, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, uh, Rashad Bateman, most definitely because he's one of their better receivers too. So you go and look for other guys to make big plays, make big catches, and kind of just help balance out the offense. So that way, it's not just Lamar trying to play hero ball and Derrick Henry getting 50 carries.
Yeah, because I mean, if he gets hurt, y'all are done.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure they played the Steelers again. So I
Yeah, they
think
do.
if the Steelers want to
They,
win, they just got to find that magic that they had when they were on that win streak because they basically struggled into the playoffs.
yeah, I don't really know what happened to the Steelers. It's just like they ran into a wall. Like, well, now what? Like, what do we do
Yeah.
now?
Um. I mean, as far as that game goes, if like me and you talked about, if Russell Wilson is struggling, Justin Fields got you out to a 4-2 record. So it's worth pulling Russell Wilson if he's playing that bad. If the game is on the line, your playoff hopes are on the line. I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, this is for all the marbles now. So I feel like you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and there's all the rumors swirling around too about Mike Tomlin getting traded. So I mean,
I don't see them doing that. That's
I don't know. Yeah, it's great
you
and
don't
all.
you don't really see that a whole lot. I forgot. I forgot that you could do that. The Broncos did it for Sean Payton.
Yeah, I mean,
So I forget that, everybody's free game, I guess.
if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, yeah, he's been super consistent. He's had what 12 seasons now going on, consecutive winning seasons. But I mean, all you have to show for it is like what a couple Super Bowls. I mean, maybe the Steelers are saying, "Hey, I mean, maybe we got to look in a fresh direction." You never know. We'll see though.
Yeah. The Raiders just fired their GM.
Their entire organization just needs a reset. So I think that's good for them.
I just got the notification on ESPN. But yeah, um before we ramble too much, really nothing really to recap, to be honest. A lot of those games were meaningless. Um Obviously Detroit throttled the Vikings. It was I don't know. For their defense to be banged up, Justin Jefferson had 3 catches.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you how deep They
how
are
how
this
deep
season.
how deep they are.
Yeah.
But and they're supposed to get a lot of their starters back, so they have the first round bye. David Montgomery is supposed to come back. They said he'll be back by the divisional round, which that's good for them. I just don't want to see the Lions do what they did last year. I don't want to see them going for it on fourth down 17 times.
You
Because they
think
were
they should
doing it.
just
They did it against the Vikings. They went
I
for it on
mean,
fourth down.
it worked though, but that's the thing. It's a double edged sword. When it works, they praise you. When it don't, they
Yeah.
want
When
you
it
gone.
works, it works. When it don't, they're coming for you.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good philosophy to go by, but in the playoffs, I feel like with a goal of a Super Bowl, you kind of take the points and let your defense
Yeah,
do what
let
it's
your
supposed to do.
defense. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, there really wasn't anything to recap. I did see the only thing I really seen were people, kind of bashing the Chiefs, for throwing the game. I mean, it's like they told Carson Wentz, "Look, go out there and just play the worst football I've ever seen in my life."
I don't think that was necessarily the case. I mean, the Broncos are a really good football team, and they played all their starters. The Chiefs didn't play any of their starters, basically. So, what did y'all expect?
Yeah,
Y'all are
and
bashing the
it was
Chiefs
like,
just
man, is
because
Carson Wentz really that bad? Because
I,
he played like trash. They didn't even score. You think they would have at least kicked a field goal? But
I
these are
don't know.
practice squad players that you've never heard of.
Exactly.
But people were saying that the Chiefs were just scared of the Bengals. They didn't want them to go. In fairness, Joe Burrow is the only quarterback that has beat Mahomes in the playoffs. In this, I mean, other than Tom Brady, Joe Burrow is the only other person to do it.
Yeah, and that
And the
defense
way the
was.
Bengals were playing offensively, yeah, they can say they were. I'm not saying they're scared. There's a grown men at the professional level. I'm sure they weren't scared, but you know, when you have a quarterback that's throwing for 5,000 yards almost, a triple crown winning wide receiver, and the leading defensive sack leader, yeah, I don't know if I'd want to play them either.
Yeah, like I said, the defense was definitely peaking too. So I mean, that would have
Yeah, their
been
defense was playing a lot better. So yeah, maybe. Look, hey, don't even like I said. They told them, look, don't even think about winning. Go out there and just fumble the ball 47 times. We'll punt on second down. Just go out there and just look like a bunch of turds.
yeah. I mean, I would have liked to have seen them in the playoffs. It's just unfortunate that the way their season started, it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, they chose the wrong time to start playing good.
Yep,
But you know, it happens. Like you said, you hate to see that, especially coming from an MVP performance like that. You don't really have a whole lot of career years like that, especially
that's true.
coming from a wide receiver and quarterback standpoint. But we did have some firings. Gerard Mayo got fired, Antonio Pierce got fired, Doug Peterson got fired. Obviously, the Raiders GM just got fired. I don't really know what they expected from them, to be honest. Like, what did you want from them?
Uh,
Drake May wasn't even the starting quarterback for what? How many games? How many games did Jacoby Brissett play?
I
And
feel
Drake
like
May
three.
got hurt twice.
Yeah, I don't know. It like I told you. I just felt like Gerard Mayo got set up, but it was just it's a lot of things that came out and a lot of things that were said. So I can't really say whether it or not it was a setup, but it definitely looks like it. I mean, with that roster and a rookie quarterback, what did you expect?
Yeah, yeah. With no weapons, no offensive line, the defense was okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. At that point, they might as well have not even hired a coach and just worked with what they had.
And as far as the Raiders go, they just been in shambles the past pretty much since Derek Carr left.
Yeah, they haven't had
Those
a
were the
quarterback.
those were the Raiders' best years with Derek Carr. And then since he's been gone, they've just been trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you let go of Josh Jacobs. Hell, he's thriving in uh Green Bay. Um, you let go of Devontae, obviously for obvious reasons. He wanted to leave, but it's just been a carousel. You don't have anybody. The only person you have is Brock Bowers.
Yep. Good good player to build off of though. He had an outstanding rookie season.
Yeah, yeah, I will say that. Yeah, he had about 1,200 yards. So yeah, and that's with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. So
Exactly.
I don't know, but yeah, that's neither. We'll we'll talk about all that when we do the breakdown of the teams and everything like that. Jumping into the playoffs, Saturday we have the Chargers and Texans and the Steelers and the Ravens.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna have to lean Chargers. I just don't know if the Texans. I don't know. They've been playing very bad.
Well, I was gonna say the Chargers too, but only because the Texans. I mean, yeah, you have your top wideout with Nico Collins, but
I don't
you're
know if that's
missing.
enough.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be enough because you don't have anybody to help take the pressure off of him. I mean, he's gonna catch double teams. He's gonna have help over the top. Like y'all, it's gonna be tough trying to force feed him the ball. I mean, yeah, you got other guys, but they're not proven like how he is, and they don't have the experience like what Tank Dell was giving you. So
And the Texans' offensive line is pretty bad. Let's say
exactly,
C.J. Stroud's been getting killed.
exactly. So I don't really, I don't. If they win that game, I think it's on the back of their defense, and their offense does just enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good the Chargers are. I mean, I know they're a playoff team, but
Honestly, from what I've seen, and obviously stats don't, they don't tell the full story, but stat wise, they're almost about even in like every area.
I'm about to say they've had some close games. They've only been really blown out once. They got beat by almost 30 points by the Bucks. The Bucks
Hey,
beat them 40-17. But other than that, they really haven't. I mean, they beat the Broncos 35-27. So,
comeback win
but
too.
yeah, I think I'm gonna lean Chargers. Um, I like you said, I just don't know if the Texans have enough. I don't know. They've been struggling here lately. They've been winning, but I don't know. I think that game, honestly, you could probably flip a coin. If who you, I mean, you could argue both sides. The
True.
Texans do have Nico Collins. They do have Joe Mixon. CJ Stroud just hasn't really been playing that great this year.
I mean,
So
for me, at the end of the day, the Chargers are just the healthier football team. That's what I think it comes down to for me.
yeah, I'm not sure how healthy J.K. Dobbins is though.
I mean,
They did bring in Zeke, but I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference. It could though.
it could.
Imagine he comes in and runs wild in L.A. and they
Yeah, that'd be
and they
crazy.
win the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be insane.
Then we got the Ravens and the Steelers Saturday night. I'd be a little concerned about Baltimore now with Zay Flowers not playing. This is where you're going to see how good Lamar really is. Like, can he win without? Can he find a way to win without his star?
Yeah, I mean that's like you said, it's going to show you how good Lamar Jackson really is. Can he?
Now they do have other pieces, and I'm not. I mean, Pittsburgh's got a good defense, so but the game plan is simple: hand it to Derrick Henry 20 times, throw it to Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Rashad Bateman, and run the ball.
Yeah,
There's other pieces there. They got two pretty good tight ends and
yeah,
a capable wide receiver in Bateman. He does have flashes where he does have really good games. So
it is true.
in Pittsburgh, they've just been struggling. They're on a 4 game losing streak.
I'm pretty sure it's either 4 or 5, one of the two. It's 4 or 5.
So they haven't won a game. Yeah, they're on a wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're on a 4 game losing streak.
Yeah.
So
So
I mean, and to be honest, neither game has been close except for the Bengals game. They've been blowed out in all the losses. To be
yeah, that's
honest,
tough.
they've got beat by at least double digit points.
Like I said, they just have to find for the Steelers. They just have to if they want to win, they have to find a way to slow
They have
down the
to
Ravens'
find
offense.
something because George Pickens ain't helping them out. He dropped everything that was thrown to him in the Bengals game. I don't even think he had a catch.
We'll see. I like the Ravens. I wouldn't say it's going to be a dominating win,
I'm about
but
to say the Ravens did just blow out the Steelers on Christmas.
that is true. So I mean, they've already. I'm not going
And
to
this
say
is the
it's
same
hard to beat a.
Pittsburgh team that was a couple weeks ago. So
I'm not going to say it's hard to beat a team twice because NFL wise, that's a little different. I mean,
yeah,
realistically, I don't know. I think Zay Flowers being out is pretty big. So we'll see how that affects them against the Steelers. But I still think the Ravens are going to find a way to win that game, though.
yeah. Sunday we have the Packers, Eagles, Commanders, Bucks, Broncos, and the Bills. Eagles,
Uh,
there's a question mark there. Is Jalen Hurts gonna play?
they said
I'm
they're
sure.
optimistic.
I'm sure he will. If they don't, they're gonna get beat. If he don't, they'll get beat. I don't know though. I mean, Carson Wentz went down, and Nick Foles took them to and they won the Super Bowl with backup quarterback Nick Foles.
This is not that kind of situation. I'm sorry.
I,
Um,
I
but
mean, you
but
got a 2K, you got a 2K yard rusher. You have two very capable wide receivers, and you got a good defense.
yeah,
Ah,
but
it
you're putting
kind
your
of
playoff
is.
hopes. You're putting your playoff hopes on Kenny Pickett's shoulders. That's not going to work out.
Well, you put your playoff hopes on Nick Foles, and he beat the greatest quarterback of all time. So,
Yeah, but Nick Foles was already a seasoned like veteran at that point. Kenny Pickett has been in the league for like 2 seasons. Completely different situation.
you never
But
know.
that's true. But I don't see that happening though. Now as far as because the Commanders and Eagles played before and that game was close, so I think you see the same thing this time around too.
Packers, Eagles.
Oh, it's wait. I thought you said it's Commanders Bucks. My bad.
Yeah,
Well, regardless,
the
I think
Packers lost their best wide receiver in Christian
Christian Watson.
Watson. Yeah, he
Yeah.
got. I don't know if he's out. He did get hurt. He got carted off the field, so I don't know if he's out. I have no idea. But
I was probably gonna say the Eagles anyways. I mean, you got a two
yeah,
thousand
I was
yard
probably going
rusher.
to say that too. Yeah,
If
it's gonna be tough to beat the Eagles because they're gonna run. They're gonna try to run Saquon down your throat.
yeah, I mean the game obviously can go two different ways depending on who the quarterback is, what their quarterback situation is looking like. So I think
I mean,
either
yeah.
way, I
I mean, Kenny Pickett did win him some games when Jalen Hurts got hurt. So, eh, were they great wins? Yeah, I mean, not particularly, but I mean,
I'd probably
they blew out. I mean, they blew out the Cowboys.
I'd probably still say the Eagles in that one.
I mean, yeah.
Now, Commanders
My
Bucks,
that game might go either way.
that's gonna be a really good game. I mean,
It's
you
going to
got
be high scoring.
yeah, two electric offenses. It's really gonna be more so because you got to remember that the Bucks offense isn't at full strength. Obviously, with Chris Godwin tearing his ACL, um,
Yeah,
but
and
Baker
Kate
Mayfield still
Kate
had a
Otten has been hurt, so that's taken a hit to their team.
yeah,
But you still got Mike Evans.
yeah.
You still got McMillan. They have pieces, and Baker's making it work.
I just think the Commanders have a much more dynamic offense though,
I don't
and
know.
their
I
defense.
feel like sometimes the Commanders just come out sluggish. Sometimes
I mean,
I don't
oh
know.
no, I think this is their first playoff win. They're gonna get their first playoff win in however long it's been. I don't know what their drought's been like, but I'm pretty
A
sure it's
long
been a
time.
while. I think they knocked the Bucks out. I think they do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pick the Commanders because I'm gonna be biased. I like Jaden Daniels, but I like Baker Mayfield too. The Bucks were my dark horse to go all the way. So that game's tough for me to pick, but I'm gonna have to go with. I think I'd have to go with the Commanders. I want the if the Bucks win, I want them to. They're my dark horse if they win.
Yeah.
But my heart, I have to pick Jaden Daniels. To be honest, I know I probably shouldn't do that, but I would love for. Wouldn't that be something if the Commanders won the Super Bowl? Wouldn't that be something? I don't think they will because their defenses kind of struggled, but they do have a good corner with Marshawn Lattimore. So him and Mike Evans are going to be out there fighting. So
Yeah. That's funny that you mentioned that. Nah, I think that would be crazy if they made that run, but the NFC is just that the NFC is really tough.
yeah,
Obviously, you got the top, even though the Vikings got knocked down to the fifth seed, which I think is kind of crazy. You lost two games, or you
three
lost three
games.
games, and you're the fifth seed. Because I'm pretty sure the Rams are the four seed, and they lost like 7 games just because they won the division. They automatically get locked into that four seed.
Yeah.
Like we talked, the NFL seeding is insane.
Well, it's hard when it's kind of lopsided because you know the AFC, or I mean the uh, NFC is just stacked. A lot of good teams. Um, the Broncos and the Bills. Obviously, the Broncos got put in
I'm
the
rolling
seventh
with
seed,
the
so they
upset.
got to go to Buffalo.
I'm rolling with the upset.
They have to go to Buffalo. I will say, Washington, or I mean, not Washington. Tampa Bay did get home field, so Tampa is playing at home. So honestly, that's not the end of the world because it's not cold. It's actually nice in Tampa. But the Broncos got to go to Buffalo. I mean, it's cold in Denver, so that probably really won't make a difference. But I'm worried about Bo Nix. Will he fold under the pressure? Because it's
He
going to be
is
hard to go into Buffalo and beat Josh Allen. That's going to be tough.
he is a rookie QB too, but I mean a lot of times this season he hasn't really looked like it. So we'll
I'm
see.
about to say he has. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's played really good. It's just the pressure moments that I've seen when I've seen him play in college that he folded.
He really did a lot of that in the NFL though. I care
Yeah, I
less.
will say that. Well, maybe it transition. Maybe he outgrew that.
So we'll see. Like I said, it's gonna be a high pressure environment. I mean, you're a rookie quarterback.
I'm picking Buffalo. It's they got home field. Possible MVP quarterback. I think if I'll say it right now. I said we talked about it off podcast. If the Buffalo Bills get beat by the Broncos in the first round, I never want to hear this hype about Josh Allen. I'd leave it alone. Leave him alone.
You'll
Don't talk about it. I don't want to hear it.
you'll still hear about it. I mean, that's just
I know you will, but it's him and Lamar need to prove it. You know, well, he's the best. He's the best. No, if you can't win playoff games, You're not any. You're Dak Prescott.
In a sense, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you got to win big games. You can be electric and MVP, but once it comes playoff time, you choke. You play terrible. No, it's time. I like it's like you said. It's time to show people, and you got to show me.
I think the Broncos defense comes to play and they pull the upset.
Oh, they got a good defense. Now they're going to come to play, but I think Josh Allen's going to make the plays.
We'll see.
But yeah, Denver's got a good defense. That's going to be a good game, I think. Either it's going to be a good game or the Bills are going to beat the brakes off of them. To be
Yeah,
honest, I
that's
think
fair.
it's going to be close or the Bills are going to run away with
That's fair. I mean, like you said, it is home field.
it. They haven't played the Broncos,
it's
so
crazy
they don't
cold in
really they
Buffalo.
don't really know what to expect. But it's cold in Denver, so that really shouldn't be an excuse.
Exactly. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see.
And then Monday we have the Vikings versus the Rams.
Mm, I really think the Vikings are going to run away with that game, but the Rams have looked pretty good as of late. They're back healthy, and if I had to pick a dark horse to go to the Super Bowl, I'd probably say the Rams. Dark horse though, not like a favorite or anything. Like I said, they've been playing good football lately. The
Yeah,
Vikings are coming off a smackdown from the Lions, so I think they come out with a bad taste in their mouth, and they look to put that back on somebody else. And unfortunately, that's going to be the Rams.
yeah, they need a bounce back. But I'm gonna lean upset, and I'm gonna pick the Rams to beat the Vikings.
You think Sam Darnold's going to choke?
Yeah, I think so. Stafford's been here before,
Yeah, it
and
is true.
based off what I've seen in the Lions game, Sam Darnold looked terrible.
Yeah,
He
Sam
was
Darnold.
he was all over the place.
This is Sam Darnold's first playoff, so
This he was now. I'm not saying that the Rams are in the same caliber as the Lions, but the Rams have a pretty good. But the Rams couldn't even beat the Seahawks, so I don't know. I don't know. Part of me, I'm gonna go with what I said. I'm gonna go upset. I'm gonna pick the Rams. I think this might be Matt Stafford's last ride. I don't know if it
mm,
will be, but
I would think so. I mean, he's dealt with some injuries and stuff this season. He's been dealing with injuries the past couple of years after that
I
Super
think if they
Bowl
can
run that
make
they
it, I
had.
think if they make a deep run and or make it to the Super Bowl, I think he might hang it up if they made it. If they made it and got beat, I think he.
He probably would. I mean, that's it's tough to go through it. Like all the people tell you in sports, like sports seasons are very long and it takes
Yeah,
a lot of energy to go and prepare for a season, go through the full season, make a full
yeah.
run in the postseason.
2 extra games at that.
Yeah, like it's a lot. It's a lot. So I
They're
think
playing. They're playing 2 more games than they played last year. And he's not a spring chicken. He's kind of older.
yeah. So
So yeah, I think the Vikings can win. I'm just gonna lean with the Rams. Just the reason being, just more. They've been there before. The experience.
that's fair. Yeah, that's playoff experience. Yeah.
And it's kind of why I picked the Bills. I mean, the Broncos have a good team, but the Broncos haven't. I mean, they do have a good coach in Sean Payton. He did win a Super Bowl, so he has
Yeah,
been there before. But it's the experience on their team.
that's true.
Can you go? Um, and the Vikings are well. They don't know. So in L.A. with the wildfires that's happening, or the forest fires, or however you want to call it, they may have to move this game to Arizona.
Yeah.
So that's really not a home field advantage for anybody. Right now, LA has home field.
That's true.
So if they have to move the game, it's a neutral site. So
Yeah,
now
but
I know
you would
all things
still expect
considered. Do
you
you?
would
I know the fires and everything in LA, but do you think that that's fair?
yeah, I mean I
I
wouldn't
know you can't help it. I know you can't help it, but
yeah, I mean it's fair. I mean, as far as natural disasters go, it's pretty fair. I mean, you wouldn't want to put all those
oh,
people,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, well, you can't
but
move the game. You can't move it. You can't delay the game.
Arizona's still closer to LA than it is to Minnesota though. So technically LA still has more of the home field crowd in a
Yeah.
sense.
I don't know how that works though, because like the buying the tickets and all that, I don't really know how that works. But
Ah, they probably just set everything up the same. I mean, if they move them, then you just would take your tickets as is, and we'll just run it like that. So you know, people already bought a lot of that stuff already, so everything's already purchased. It probably just transfer.
yeah, yeah, I was curious to know how that worked. Because instead of going to LA, you got to go to Arizona.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I think it'll be a pretty good game. They're all of them should be pretty good from certain standpoints. You might see. I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna predict two blowouts. I think there'll be two that won't even. They won't really be close games.
I'm gonna say
And then
one.
and then you move on to the divisional round. So the Lions are sitting there waiting to see who they play, and the Chiefs are waiting to see who they play.
Yeah, and
And then you have the other two divisionals.
the NFL playoffs is just weird because they reseed after first after the first round.
So the Chiefs will either play if the Broncos win. Wait, let me look at it. I can tell you. If the chart, hold on. So the Chiefs play the lowest seed, right?
Yeah, the lowest remaining seed. So if the Broncos happen to upset the Bills, then the Broncos would go and
Will
play.
play the Chiefs.
Yeah, but if they don't,
If they don't,
then
and
the Ravens.
Pittsburgh beats the Ravens, the Steelers will go.
Yeah,
It's
but if
weird.
the
Yeah, it's weird. But if they win, well, if they win, the winner of the Chargers, if the Chargers win, they'll play. It's weird. It's like so many different scenarios.
yeah, because the wait, who's 4-5? That's the Chargers and the
I don't know. I don't know what the seeding is.
because I know Chiefs are one because they get the first round bye. Bills are two.
Okay, here we go. So the Chiefs are one. The Texans are the fourth seed. The Chargers are the fifth seed. The Ravens are the third seed. The Steelers are the sixth seed. The Bills are the second seed. The Broncos are the seventh seed.
So okay. So if out of 4-5, whoever of them wins has to go play the Chiefs. And then so let's say the Ravens win, they're the 3, so they would have to go and play Buffalo because out of 4-5, if 2 and 3 are still in it, they have to play each other because the lowest seed has to go play the Chiefs. So whoever wins out of the Chargers and the Texans will go play the Chiefs, right? Unless we see an
Unless
upset.
unless the Broncos beat the Bills, yeah.
Yeah, unless the Broncos beat the Bills or the Steelers beat the Ravens, whoever went, yeah, pretty much. Okay, cool.
I think lowest Chiefs will play the lowest remaining seed. So whoever wins the lowest team. So yes, if the Broncos beat the Bills, they'll play the Chiefs. But if
Yeah,
the Bills beat the Broncos and the Ravens beat the Steelers, then the winner of the Texans and Chargers will play.
yeah,
So as long as there's no upset. So yeah, if the Broncos upset the Bills, then they get to go play. in Kansas City.
As far as I'm concerned, the Ravens clearly have the Ravens and the
So,
Bills
so no
clearly
matter
have.
what, the Ravens, if the Ravens win, they wouldn't catch Kansas City to the conference championship. No matter what,
Yeah, but
they couldn't go.
you can say the same thing for the Bills. They pretty much won't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
them
yeah.
in
That's
the
what I'm saying.
divisional,
That's what
but
I'm saying. So the Ravens and the Bills won't see them till the conference. So
the Ravens and the Bills would still have to play each other though, which is going to be that'll be a really good game. If both teams win in their first round games, that'll be a really good game.
yeah, because I don't see the Chargers or the Texans beating the Chiefs. The Chargers already had a chance and couldn't beat them.
So we'll see.
It was a close game though. It was a good game. It was close.
Yeah,
The Chiefs kicked the game-winning field goal. He doinked it in.
it was the black magic that Patrick Mahomes been using all season.
So, so yeah.
But
And then let's see for the NFC. Obviously, same thing. So if the Packers upset the Eagles, they get to go to Detroit to
man,
play the Lions. And
nobody should
then
want.
and the Lions have already beat the Packers, so they just played.
Yeah,
If the Commanders but if the Eagles beat the Packers and the Commanders beat the Bucks, then the Commanders got to go to Detroit
man.
because the Commanders are the sixth seed. But if the Bucks win and the Eagles win, the Vikings may have to play the Vikings may have to play the Lions again because they're the fifth seed and they beat the
Yeah,
Rams,
yeah, yeah.
so they'll have to go back to Detroit
That is
to play them
unfortunate.
again.
That is unfortunate.
And then, I mean, I don't see the Vikings beating them. I mean, they didn't even really come close to beating them the first time. But
Exactly.
again, it's hard to beat somebody twice. And NFL usually do play twice. So, like I said, it's hard to beat somebody twice, but I don't know. If I'm the Lions, honestly, I want the Packers to upset the Eagles. I think the Eagles are probably the only team that can really compete with the Lions in the NFC. If you wanted my honest opinion.
Uh yeah. Realistically, yeah, yeah. Offensively,
I
from a
mean, all these teams are good, but I'm just saying, like on paper, stats wise.
yeah. I mean, on paper, you got to think like they have a
But
2,000 yard rusher and two really, really good receivers. The Vikings have Justin Jefferson and
yeah, and they held him to
Addison.
3 catches with a backup corner.
Exactly. But the thing that they lack, and no disrespect to Adam Jones, but they just lack elite run game.
Aaron Jones, you mean? You said Adam.
Oh,
I mean,
Adam Aaron.
him and Cam Akers are not bad.
Nah, but it's just not. It's Saquon has got 2K. If you look at the Lions, Jameer Gibbs has like what 1,300 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
So
13 or 14, I think.
I mean, that kind of right there says in
And they
itself,
get
like
David Montgomery back in the conference champ or in the divisional. So
exactly. So, like I said, that's the one thing that they lack out of those top three teams. They're the only team that really lacks a very strong run game. So
as long as the Lions don't sell, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop them.
yeah, it's been like that all season pretty much, except outside the losses and the close games that they've had that they still won. They've looked pretty much unstoppable. So we'll see. We'll see what that run looks like when they make it to the when they play that divisional
The
game.
Bills beat them 40, had to score 50 to beat them.
Yeah. So I mean,
So they have had close games though, but the Bills had to score 50 to beat them. You're going to have to score at least 30 to beat them. At
Yeah,
least. I mean, they've scored 30 points a game, so I mean, they beat the Vikings twice. So
exactly.
they may have to play the Vikings a third time, so maybe third time will be the charm.
Maybe.
So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the NFL portion.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got too. Yeah, playoffs are here. Comment who you think is gonna win. Who's your favorite? Who's your dark horse? Um, yeah, other than that, this pretty much wraps it up for this episode. I mean, as always, you know, thanks to everybody who's, listening in and just enjoying our sports talk, and just listening to us ramble about random stuff at times, which, like I said, we appreciate it. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next episode.